In this WrestleTalk news, AEW stars save the contract of Colt Cabana. A controversial show from ex-WWE stars gets cancelled, and an update on Triple H returning to NXT. Plus, Ollie's going to be here reviewing AEW Dynamite, so subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
And we begin with perhaps the greatest can they coexist storyline in modern wrestling history, the real-life drama between Colt Cabana and CM Punk. Because the two former friends had a falling out over legal fees related to their suit against WWE Dr. Christopher Amann. Funnily enough, Colt and Punk didn't have a lot of overlap in the following years because Punk wasn't wrestling anymore. But now that he's joined AEW, it very much felt like the company's going to have to make a choice about which guy to back. I wonder which one they will choose. Because according to a recent report from Fightful Select, it looked like they were picking Punk, as it was said that several talent found out a while ago that Cabana's contract with the company was highly unlikely to be renewed. Now, this caused concern among the roster, for whom Colt is a popular figure backstage, and many went to bat for him. In the following months, he wrestled on the AEW-produced Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor event, so he's definitely still working there in some capacity. On top of this news, though, Fightful found out that Cabana is said to almost never be at AEW TV and is rarely booked for in-ring action. The tension with Punk is speculated to be the reason why. It was around mid-April that the rumours came through that Colt had re-signed with AEW, but through Ring of Honor, so maybe we'll be seeing him more over there when that promotion gets weekly TV. If that promotion gets weekly TV, who knows? Meanwhile, the former authors of Pain from WWE have been trying to get a wrestling show of their own off the ground and have run into a fair few controversies. The Wrestling Entertainment Series promotion, headed by the two former AOP guys, was due to hold its debut show on June 4th, but just a week before launching, pushed the entire thing back to July 9th. Now, just days out from that show, the promotion has announced that they have cancelled it via social media, laying the blame at the feet of so many talent not showing up. Sounds like some bullshit to me. Former WWE Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax, aka Lita Fanini, was originally slated to appear before pulling out of the rearranged show. She then took issue with the promotion continuing to use her image to advertise the event, even though she had very publicly acknowledged that she wasn't going to be there. Current Impact announcer Matthew Rehwoldt also accused the promotion of costing him time and money after promising him a booking and then just ghosting him. And this is the thing, many suspected the show would be cancelled after it was revealed that the event at Nottingham's Motorpoint Arena had only sold a few hundred tickets, despite the venue seating 10,000. That's a lot of people to cram into one side on camera, isn't it? Just take up a couple of seats, guys. Take up a couple of seats. Finally, a quick update about Triple H's involvement in NXT 2.0, because a few weeks ago it was reported that he announced to the Performance Center that he was back, baby. Now, according to PW Insider, though, there has been no change at the top of the promotion. It is still being helmed by the team of Bruce Pritchard and Shawn Michaels, with Johnny Russo as head writer, with Nick Bonanno and George Carroll rounding out the team. So, don't expect the black and gold to return anytime soon, gang. That's what I'm saying. Hot tag now to Ollie.
Thanks for your support on Patreon, the abominable Michael Abbott and Superkick Nick Mazesco. You too can get your own shout out by going to patreon.com/WrestleTalk. It's Thursday, you know what that means. My review of AEW Dynamite in about 5 minutes. There's been too much New Japan and Ring of Honor on my AEW TV as of late, distracting from the AEW stars and storylines I love. And this episode kicked off focusing on their own talent in a big way. Wardlow versus Scorpio Sky for the TNT title, with a load of MMA guys in. Will someone just shut the forbidden door already? Were you raised in a barn? It's okay though, when they're just used as Wardlow's fodder. This was the best he's looked since the whole MJF situation derailed his momentum at Double or Nothing. He took out all of American Top Team, hit a beautiful top rope swanton bomb, and played the Powerbomb Symphony to become the new TNT champion. AEW gave him the full confetti treatment, and I'm excited for both him and the title to get a reset. Objectively, the best heel turn in wrestling, Christian Turtleneck Cage, then teased the answer to the biggest mystery in the company right now. Why has Luchasaurus suddenly turned evil and sided with him? In a smart way to stretch out that intrigue, we didn't get an answer here, because Matt Hardy interrupted, saying Jungle Boy was actually his friend too now, and he didn't deserve what Christian did to him, which set up Christian's incredibly inappropriate line of the week. He said Matt's talking such nonsense, he's starting to think his brother was the sober one. It was a hell of a line that, popped me huge. It offended me in such a great way. But I also probably need to do some self-reflection there. Considering the recency of Jeff's arrest, with him in rehab right now, I'm struggling to see how this wasn't irresponsible. Making fun of Jungle Boy's dead dad is one thing. That happened 2 years ago and I'm assuming was totally signed off on by JB himself. But I can't see how, in good conscience, you could check Jeff was okay with this line, considering where he's at in his life right now. If this line was said in WWE, I'm pretty sure we'd all be incredibly heavily critical of it. But that said, oh my god, it worked, it got loads of heat. They brawled and Luchasaurus chokeslammed Matt through the timekeeper's table. Following Butcher and the Blade dumping Strickland out of last Friday's Battle Royal, Swerve and Our Glory took them on in a tag match, which meant, oh my. Oh god. Yes. We got a Keith Lee versus Butcher showdown. Oh, Butcher. Unfortunately, it wasn't really played up like the usual epic hoss fights in AEW. The match was smartly booked elsewhere though, furthering the tension between Swerve and Lee just enough, with Lee accidentally pouncing his tag partner but making 2 saves later on, showing Lee has gone above and beyond to make up for an honest mistake, whereas Swerve really apologised for intentionally eliminating Lee at a Battle Royal. But it's a Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland match. You know what that means. Compulsory Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs promo. But this time it got a new wrinkle. AEW Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, challenging them both to a 3-way title match next week. Pretty much the same match that both teams lost to Jurassic Express several months ago, which the crowd recognised by loudly chanting for FTR instead. I'm assuming this is all intentional and the start of a storyline where the Bucks are dodging Dax and Cash by making matches they know they can win elsewhere. Rather than be a feud ender, Blood and Guts actually appears to be a feud continuer. Daniel Garcia will take on Wheeler Yuta for the Pure title at Ring of Honor. Claudio and Jake Hager set up a match for next week, and Eddie Kingston is still angry with Chris Jericho. After congratulating his team, even Claudio, because he's a mature person now, Eddie called out Jericho, which Jericho answered with what appeared to be a photo shoot for the JAS debut album cover, where Tay Conti slammed Ruby Soho's arm in a car door. I might have really liked this if Ruby didn't awkwardly put her own arm in harm's way, where she whimpered while standing up, putting her hand directly in the door frame. Actually, don't do it just yet, Tay. Make sure my hand is just right. Someone should have been there holding it. The JAS goofily running off afterwards undermined the seriousness, and it never cut back to Eddie's reaction, whose rage is the whole point of that angle. Eddie's character direction was the most exciting thing in AEW at the end of last week's show. Here it felt like it went right back into autopilot. In Brody Lee's hometown, the Dark Order came out to announce the 6 of them are forever, and they're starting another, like their 10th new chapter. QT Marshall interrupted to rag on -1, which got an awesome appearance from Hangman Page to help beat QT up, where -1 said he'll pin him when he's 18. Long-term booking. It was a really sweet moment, but not one that gave me any actual confidence in the Dark Order. They've barely even been an afterthought on TV, so much so that 2 of them have intentionally left the company. Jim Ross joined the commentary booth for the 2nd hour, which is proving to be an effective change to the show structure. Rouge pulled off Penta's mask to steal a victory in their lucha feud. Both guys are incredibly charismatic. Somehow, the Ass Boys taking Max Caster's microphone before he could start rapping got more genuine heat than Christian making fun of Jeff Hardy's drunk driving. Let me hear the offensive things so I can get offended about them. This got mega heat for the ensuing Ass Boys and Acclaimed versus Bear Country, Leon Ruff and Fuego del Sol tag match, which ended in a brawl between the victorious Caster, Bowens and Guns. Shockingly, after last week, Billy Gunn decided, with some degree of conflict, that blood is thicker than water. He heartbreakingly denied Bowens' scissor request, Daddy, and hit a Fameasser, cementing the Acclaimed as baby faces. This was always the direction, and they've executed it great. But damn, I'm gonna miss them all as an act together. I actually forgot women were part of this promotion. Next up was a fun tag match of Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm's Thunderstorm, beating Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir. FTR challenged the Briscoes for an ROH tag title rematch. Yes, please. And the main event saw an interim AEW World title match of Jon Moxley versus Brody King. This was exactly what it needed to be. Moxley's a hardcore brawler, but Brody's a big bastard, and he had several great spots slapping down Mox's offense with power, including one in the ad break that had a chop so hard we got this camera angle with Mox's boots upside down on the ropes. Mox choked Brody out in the end to retain in a solid main event. I thought now would have been a good time to give Mox some actual title direction, like Malachi Black coming out for a stare down, setting up a mouth-watering Blackpool Combat Club versus House of Black storyline. But instead there was no cliffhanger angle and the show just went off air. What did you think of Dynamite? Let me know in the comments. I love AEW's focus on AEW again. We saw a TNT title change, that Christian line, and a beloved faction breakup on this episode. There are plenty of great matches to look forward to for next week too, but I do feel AEW is missing that major storyline that's hooking me in every Wednesday. This week's AEW is a solid 84%. But has a new wrestler's debut been leaked? Watch on to find out.
There could be a lot of different guys that this could be. This photo had a little bit of an arm with a red jacket sticking out, and that could be a lot of people. That could be maybe someone like Dragon Lee,